If you're new to knitting, you might not be aware that there's some actual sewing involved in knitting. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use what's called the mattress stitch to join two pieces of knitting together. You can see here that I have two separate pieces of knitting, and these are both done in garter stitch, which you can tell by the little squiggly pattern. Now let's say I want to join these two pieces together. A lot of times you'll join two separate pieces of knitting because it's a sweater that's seamed, or like a pillow, or you just want to do a color change, but you're a new knitter and you're not quite confident enough to do a color change without sewing. Totally fine. The mattress stitch is really easy and an almost invisible way to join two pieces of knitting so they look like one. So right here I have a tapestry needle. So this is the kind of sewing needle that you see in knitting. It's got a big enough eye that yarn can be threaded through it. So I've got some yellow yarn on here so you can see what I'm doing as I work. So to start, we're going to bring the yarn through the left-hand rectangle from the back. And you can just leave this tail loose to weave in when you're done joining your work. Next, going from the front to the back, we're going to look for a smiley face. So I'll tell you what that means. So in this garter stitch, you can see that we've got N shapes and U shapes, or frowny faces and smiley faces. It's easier to hear the difference between a smiley face and a frowny face than an N and a U, so I'm going to use the smiley face analogy here. So we're going to look for a smiley face on the other piece of knitting, and we're going to pierce from the bottom, moving upward on that smiley face, and draw the needle through. But don't pull too hard because you've got that loose tail hanging out. So there we've gone through our smiley face. Now on the other side, we've got to look for the first frowny face on the left side. And there's the first frowny face. So again, working bottom to top, we're gonna sew our yellow yarn through there. Next, we're gonna look for a smiley face on the next row, which is right there. And then we're going to look for our corresponding frowny face. So as you work, you're looking for the stitches that line up next to each other. I'm doing this really loose, but once we tighten this, the seam is formed where our two pieces join, and if we were doing this in gray, these would be invisibly joined. As you can see, the smiley face, frowny face, frowny face, lining up perfectly next to each other as if they were knit all the way across.